A lot of you, when I asked you what your goals were, talked about getting more referrals, building your business through referrals, getting more leads through referrals. And a lot of your challenges, you talked about, I challenged to find people who are in the market right now, who are going to close, who are going to buy, who are going to sell. I have a challenge. These are some of the words that, people in this community used. Finding people who are ready to go. And the mindset, those words, the language that your brain is using is the block. I'm going to show you this framework, this, what do you call it? Model that was built by McKinsey, one of the greatest consulting firms in the world, and taught by the Harvard Business School, which I had the fortune of being able to go through their program. They taught me something that eliminated that problem for me. That when I understood how the consumer buys, because that's what you have to understand to no longer have the problem of finding people who are looking to buy, looking to sell, who actually will close. And getting relationship and referral-based business. You'll see when you understand this concept, it'll eliminate those challenges. Okay, so because it's all about timing. When do you get in front of homeowners? There's lots of things that you can do and you can say. And unfortunately, if you look at the NAR's 2020 profile on buyers and sellers, most of them only interview one person. So it's like, who's top of mind? Who's in front of me? Who's talking to me? Who do I like and trust and want to use? There's a moment of time to get to do something with those people, to give value, to get in front of them that will help you get that business. And this framework will teach it to you. Okay. It was game changing for me and has allowed me to always create business and build my businesses in all the different businesses that I've had. And that's why so many people struggle when you don't understand this framework. So many people struggle with losing to the competition. Okay, there's another thing that you hear about is that one of my challenges is competition, highly competitive market. I'm losing people to the competition. And it's because you're likely going about your client acquisition, your marketing in the wrong way. That's why you're having that challenge. If you're having that challenge, it's why you're having that challenge. And this framework is going to flip it so that you are the person taking the business away from the competition, that people start using you. They think of you. They refer you. Okay. Here is, I'm going to walk you through how this thing develops for real estate, but I'm going to give you an example, other examples from other industries, other products and services to help you understand this model. Okay. This is the consumer buying journey from McKinsey. Okay. That Harvard teaches to all their students to help them with marketing for whatever company they do, because it works for everything. Okay. So let's start with an easy one that we all know, coffee. Okay, so what this is basically saying is, I have not bought a coffee. I'm living my life. This is the journey of a consumer. They're living their life, not buying coffee. And then all of a sudden they become aware, I need some coffee. I want some coffee. The first thing that people do, okay, the first thing, as soon as you become aware, the primary research for every consumer, for every product and service out there, is to think, do I know, like, and trust a coffee brand or a way of getting coffee? And some people go, yeah, I'm going to make it myself. Or I'm going to go to Starbucks. Or I'm going to go to Tim Hortons. Coffee is such a branded thing. You make your branded coffee, you go buy your branded coffee. You don't. The secondary research, when someone can't figure out where to go for coffee, is asking people where to go for coffee or looking at Google and online and print and newspapers. But no one does that. No one does that. They just think to themselves, oh yeah, I want this kind of coffee, and they go get it. They skip the secondary research. They skip the tertiary research of advertising, of looking at ads for companies. And they don't even interview anyone. They just know what they want, and they just go buy it. Okay, now another common thing that we all know is food. Okay, breakfast, lunch, dinner. A lot of times, when we become aware that we want to buy some food, we actually don't know where to go. And that's why we do the secondary research. That's why we turn around to our friend in the office, or we text our friend, or we ask, our spouse, or we go to review sites and we try to get recommendations and referrals of where to go. It's the most common thing. I don't know where I'm going to go, so I'm going to go to the next phase of research. I'm going to ask people. They're going to tell me, and then I'm likely just going to go do that. I don't need to go do a bunch of Googling and do a bunch of reading of newspapers and magazines, and I don't need to go look at a bunch of ads. I just need to hear some ideas from some people and then go. And then I just make a decision, go and eat. Right? That's what we do. Now, with real estate, okay, the majority, if you look, these numbers are actually low. The recent 2020 NER report said 75 or 76% of all sellers found their agent through either a relationship they had with the agent that they thought of an agent that they knew, liked, and trusted, and then went and just used that person, or they asked someone. They asked another realtor. They asked a business owner. They asked a local professional. They asked their friend, family member. 76% of all sellers found their agent because they knew them or they were referred to them, which means if you want listings, that's where the majority of your time and money should go, into building relationships, strengthening their relationships, and so they want to refer you or use you. Because in that scenario, like it says 40 on the screen right here, but that's wrong. 100 minus 76, that would be 24%. Only 24%. Think about this. Only 24% of sellers resort to one of the 100 different ways of looking at ads. Because you got Google, you got Facebook, you got Instagram, you got LinkedIn, you got flyers, you got bus benches, you got billboards, you got Zillow, you got Realtor.com, you got Homes.com, you got Redfin, you got boom, you hundreds. Like, just think about going to a trade show. There's a gajillion different forms of advertising, and they all fight for slivers of that 24%. And yet, think about where you and most of your friends in real estate spend their time and money. It doesn't make sense. It mathematically does not make any sense. The majority of your time and money should be spent on building new relationships, giving value to those the ones that you have, to strengthen them so they want to use you and they want to refer you, because that's 76% of all sellers. And it's 65%, I believe, 65% of all buyers come from a relationship or a referral. Okay. Now here's the breakthrough, right? So one, when people are like, how do I get buyers and sellers? Okay. I'm telling you, this chart and the NER report together are telling you, you need to build new relationships with people, and you need to give them lots of values. They want to use you and refer you. But when do you do that? For all the people that are like, how do I find? Okay, the key is you don't find them. They emerge. Very big difference. You do not find them. They emerge because, going back to coffee, when I become aware I need a coffee, it doesn't take me weeks to months to figure out where I'm going to go. It doesn't take me weeks to months to figure out who to ask if I want some food. It takes me seconds to rack my brain and think of a brand. And it takes me minutes to go talk to someone and get a recommendation referral. Which means if you want this kind of business, and you're like, I want buyers who are looking to move right now. I want sellers who are looking to sell right now. The key is to spend your time and money before they need you, so that when they need you, you are the person they think of in those seconds, or you're the person they get referred to in those minutes after they become aware. And the cool thing is, if you look at the research, in those situations, you don't even really have to interview for the job. These are the situations where if they think of you, they use you. They don't even really interview anyone else. And if they were referred to you, they also don't really interview anyone else. This is the average number of interviews done in these situations. It's 1. And then the advertising, it's the 3 to 5. It's the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, because they don't know the people. When they're looking at the ads, they see a bunch of stuff in their mailbox and their inbox and their, social media. And they're like, you guys all look the same. So I'm just going to DM all of you, call all of you, email all of you. I'm going to ask you what rate you're going to do it for, because you're a commodity to me. So I might as well get the lowest price for this commodity. And that's what happens. And no one likes that business. So don't spend too much time and money on advertising, or else you're going to end up with that kind of business. It's not the biggest piece. It's not. It's like a bunch of sharks. It's just blood in that water, and there's like no fish there, and everyone's just being like, no, there's going to be some. It's like, no, there's not going to be any. It's all gone. The salmon, were eaten by the bears smartly before they went into the pool, where everyone tried to get them. It's like, no, the person was like, hey, once the salmon starts thinking they want to go downstream, I'm just going to be waiting for them, and poof, I'm going to get them. Okay. This is how you do this. If you want people to call you, to list with you, to buy with you, ready to go now, it's not something that you can influence. This is not like you're selling a product and you can run some ads and make a person want a product that costs $20 or $100 or $500. Like, that's what companies who sell those kinds of products do. They make people want that product. It doesn't happen when people buy and sell a house. This is a massive event in people's lives. There's a huge trigger that happens to make people buy or sell a home. Birth, babies, death, divorce, marriage. I get employed, I get a raise, I get fired, I need to downsize. Like, these are, triggers. So advertising is like, I'm going to try to influence this. You're not going to influence this. Don't even bother, because you don't need to. Spend your time and money giving value to people, building relationships with people, staying in touch with people, continuing to give value. And when they become aware, in those seconds, they'll think of you. And if they don't, their friend will refer you. Okay. This is the consumer buying journey. All of your marketing and advertising decisions should be based around, how do I get in front of people before they need me? So I get their business when they need me. So I get their referrals when their friend needs me. That is the key. When I learned this, it was a breakthrough. And I've always been able to create strategies for myself to help me make money, because I understood this principle. And I hope when you understand this principle, it changes the way you think about how to get clients. And you actually just go with the flow that all consumers go down. Don't try to manipulate it. Just execute what is. This is what it is. This is how consumers buy. So make the right decisions for your business. I hope this was helpful.